Happy Saturday, friends. I'm getting ready to do some editing. So you all get the opportunity, you get the opportunity to sit with me, be with me from wherever you are, and just watch me do some editing. I like to use Canva, and I'm just getting my stuff together, getting some notes together. So I'm gonna play around with some titles. I'm not set on this title just yet, on this particular title. Um, I don't know, but my next guest's pretty powerful story, so I want to make sure the title actually mirrors what she has to share. So I'm going to get into that. Do that real quick. I have my water this morning, drunk my coffee, and now I'm going to get started with this editing stuff. Saturday editing. I purposely did not schedule anyone to record on today. I typically record on Saturdays, but today I did not schedule anybody to record today, so I can knock out some editing of this particular episode. So, anywho, let me get into it here. So what I typically do is I will either I'll have the title first, which I need to. Again, I'm playing around with this particular title, but either I'll have the title first, or I'll just do the picture editing first. I always ask my guests to send me a good quality photo so I can put it onto the thumbnail, so that way I can make the adjustments that I need. It shows up clearly on the viewer end, and I don't have to do too much editing. If they don't send a great photo, then I have to go in and do way more editing than what's necessary. And again, that's all through. I use Canva only for my thumbnail. I find them to be a great tool to use when I'm working on my podcast episodes. So in this particular episode, the one that I'm working on, my guest here, she had already previously sent me her information, which I requested. I send out like my pre-email after we do the intro calls. I do an intro call. I shoot them 50 million emails. No, but my guests get emails prior to or after I've confirmed that intro call. Then I'm asking them, which is also in my calendar scheduling link, I need your bio. I need your a good photo before, so that way I have everything before I create my thumbnail, because I like to have everything on deck. So I'm not like emailing them back and forth, like, hey, can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get this? That's too much work, friend. Like, I ain't got time. Like, I have a lot of things in my life going on, as my guests do too, right? So I try to just make sure that I am maximizing my time and their time, because I don't like to worry people like that. And I'm like actually having to send emails out like way too much. So my guest sent me over her email already. This is prior to our recording. So the recording completed. Typically, I only record on Saturdays only now, just due to my schedule. But my guest lives in Arizona, and I do not live in Arizona. So I went ahead and said, you know what? Because sometimes I will let my guests know if our schedules just super conflict. I can go ahead and make an exception. So we finished up recording last night actually, and we finished recording at around 11:30 at night, because of our time zone difference. So this is my guest, Dr. Shirley Berry Durgy Butler, Butler Durgy. I'm sorry, which is my auntie. And she has a story. So this particular episode, I was so excited. I can't wait to you get a chance to watch the episode. It's going to come out next week. Like, don't quote me on the date because I don't know right now. But anyway, let's get into it. So what I do is I take my picture that I have from the guest. And if you're just joining me, I'm actually, friend, I'm not even looking at my phone, just FYI. Every now and then I might look back into it, but hello, because my phone is facing away from me. But hello, good morning, hello, and good morning. So I'm gonna look at it real quick. Hi, Kobe. How are you doing? So but I'm gonna look at it, the photo. What I do is I click on my guest picture and I like to remove the background just like that. There's another feature where you can do it, where you can pull out the background. And let me show y'all that because I don't know if you, or if y'all are familiar with Canva, but I've been using Canva for quite some time. So to remove that, we'll do that. Go to edit, and they have options. This is the paid feature of Canva. Um, so this is the, you can go here to magic grab in the photo. Sometimes I like this and sometimes I don't, but it will highlight the picture for you. And then you just click on that person, it pulls it out for you. You can grab that individual. But the only thing with this option is I have to do all of this, right? I have to move her picture, then I got to delete this, right? Then I got to put her back. I don't like doing all of that. That's just too much. So we're not going to do that. But I just feel like the background remover just gives it simplicity. It's easy. It takes out that background that I need for me. And it kind of keeps more of her picture natural and angled because this is the picture she sent to me. So I don't want to do too much retouches because it looks like she already has a nice and clear picture anyway. So I don't actually have to do anything to her picture. Sometimes I do have to go in and do a little bit of a retouch. Now, this particular picture, I have my guest on the uh, me facing me is my left hand side. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining, again, I'm not looking at my phone too much, but I have my guest on the left side because that's what they said is best to do, the experts. um, but the guest is supposed to be on the left side or whatever. Sometimes I have them on the right side, but because it's going to be me as well in this photo, in this thumbnail. And I might just leave it as her, but I think I'm gonna do me. So I like to flip it so that she's also facing me. So I'm gonna flip her so that way she's gonna be looking at me and I'm gonna be looking at her. Now, I think I need to minimize her picture just a little bit. But I do like the big face option. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can go in, so I might just push her back just a little bit to where the face really fully, you know, covers the entire thumbnail, but not too much because I don't want it to look crazy. You know what I'm saying? So got her picture on the thumbnail. Again, I'm gonna play with this title. I'm not sure about this title. I know the title has to be, anytime you're doing a thumbnail, what I've learned, again, I'm growing in this thing, and as far as like what I'm putting out and my content for my particular channel, the thumbnail I have learned has to be clickable. Before, I just was like, I'm putting out my message. I have my guests coming on. I want their message to be highlighted. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm putting out the title of what I, thought the message should be. So no, with the thumbnail, it needs to be a clickable title, meaning short, easy to read, to the point, like to where the viewer gets it, right? So this particular thumbnail, I don't know. I'm not sure because of her story. We're going to be talking about civil rights. So, and just the movement during civil rights, the generation that endured so much during that era, all that she went through. I'm talking about, being called names, going to school, being called outside of her race, like nigger, and, all types of stuff, y'all. She has a powerful story. And then having been called that kind of stuff at the age of 4. So she has a story. So I really want to highlight this title a little bit better, but I just don't know yet what I'm going to put for her title. I'm going to play around with it. And, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Okay. Your girl's going to ask ChatGPT. I am. So I did plug some stuff in, but normally I'll get the title together and I just go in and I do the same thing with my picture. I'm gonna pick out just a random picture for myself. I think sometimes I'll use my picture over and over again, which is just me. I take a simple picture at home somewhere, from outside, I'll post up somewhere, take the picture. I'm removing my background. And because depending on what type of quality of picture I took, like if I didn't use proper lighting in my picture, I try not to do too much of a retouch because I don't want it to look crazy. So I'm going to bring it down just to scale it to her angle, to her height, excuse me. And I'll go in and edit my picture just a little bit. So this edit feature, like you don't have to do, there's a lot of editing features within Canva. But the one that I like to use the most is just where you can slightly face retouch, which is just kind of smooth out the skin just a little bit to where, you know, it's not like overdoing it too much because I don't want to overdo it too much. And as you can tell, my picture is kind of dark. So I'm gonna go in and edit again because again, I don't have time to send pictures to a professional, like, do my pictures really nicely. I don't have time for that. And nor do I want to spend money to that either when Canva has the ability. So I'm gonna try to just lighten it up a little bit. Hopefully my studio light in the background is not messing you up, friend, if you're watching. So I try to lighten it up just a little bit to where you can see. What I'm trying to do is really match her lighting of her picture because I don't want us to both be off. I want us to be balanced. And I'll probably go in again and play around with that some more. Those are my old titles, y'all. See? Same outfit. I'm wearing the same exact outfit. Do I care? No. I'm saving time. Let's see here. So hello, hello, and hello. And I'm just saying hello, you guys. Welcome to me editing my thumbnail. And I need to do some editing again with on my episode. So yeah, I'm gonna bring me up just a little bit. Again, just trying to match her height because I want this to be here. And normally sometimes that will, like the angle, the measuring will be here. Y'all see my crooked finger? Crazy. Broke my finger a long time ago and it still looks crazy. But the angle is here. And I think that's gonna put us off right. It's the little things with editing thumbnails that can bother me. So I try not to stay on it too much because I can get anal about this, like for real. And be like, ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, let me fix that. Ooh. And then sometimes I just like, girl, just edit the stuff and post it. Like my face here still looks a little pixicle-ish. And so I might fix that just a little bit. All right, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with a title. See, like this is bothering me. So let me move this up just a little bit. But I always look at everything too, because I think that's important. I think quality of your thumbnail is important too. But the main thing is, to me, I switched it out to a clearer background. Just doing a white, there's a backdrop underneath of like a podcasting equipment in the background, overlaid it with just a very white background. And now I'm gonna go in and do something with her title. Okay, so let me go to Chat GPT because again, y'all, I already put some information in here. So I just asked, what do you think about my title? And then I said, give me options of a better title. So I put in my title, We Cannot Forget Her Story. And I said, do you have better options that are more related to her story, and more grabbing as far as like being a clickable title. So the title, let's see, they got We Cannot Be Silent, The Grief of a Generation. That's good, right? Because my title of my channel, or my focus point of my channel, is From Grief to Purpose. Number 2, they have, y'all let me know what you think too. Let me know what you think if you have any, what your go-to would be. We Cannot Forget, Lives Lost, Lessons Carried. Number 3, What a Generation Endured, Civil Rights, Grief, and Resilience. Number 4, We Cannot Forget, The Cost of Equality. Or number 5, Before the Laws Changed, What a Generation Survived. I don't know if I like any of those. I don't know if I like any of them. We Cannot Forget, The Cost of Equality. I think I like this one. Let me see. Let's plug this one in and try it. I think I have We Cannot Forget already up there. Let's see how that one looks. I'm gonna take that out. See if I do that one, and then I'll bring this up. So kept my original title, We Cannot Forget. I'm just plugging in The Cost of Equality. So I like that. And then depending on if I change it or not, let me bring this out because I can't move my titles. So I just bring some of this down, bringing my wording down just to be able to get it set, get it appropriate, and so forth. All right. And again, my picture is still looking a little pixely, but I think it's cool. Let's see here. And I might change my picture. We'll see. All right. And my light maybe throw me off just a little bit. Let me bring this down so I can So I need my light. Hopefully it doesn't blind you guys. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think that is good. Let me just see. Let me bring the light down just a little bit on my photo. Uh, so okay. So another option, I don't know if you are familiar with Canva, right? Like I've done all this with my picture, but another option in Canva, if you want to, again, I just use the effect option where it's like the face retouch, which pretty much just kind of just clears your face up a little bit. If you've taken a picture, you don't have proper lighting, it kind of just pulls you in a little bit better to kind of restore that photo better. But they do have the option here under, let me see which one it is, see all, image upscaler. They have an image upscaler option. Sometimes I'm gonna click on it so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it does a little bit too much, but they have it, you know, you can 2x it, 4x it. This is what the 2x option does. Let me see if I turn my light up, will that help to view it a little bit better? But this is what it does. And it just kind of will bring it out. Sometimes I think if I did a 4x, it makes me look a little cartoonish, which some, you know, some creators love that effect. I've used that before, just for fun. Like I got one episode coming up, which is more a little bit of a vlog style, kind of like a rant a little bit, or not a rant, just me talking about incorporating some info on, you know, I've spoken of my dating journey here, my dating life, but I used kind of like a caricature in that as well. All right. And also, ChatGPT has a caricature feature. Now, I'm going to click on the replace option because they've already screened out and did what they did on the image upscaler to update this particular photo of myself. I'm going to click on replace. Let's see if it gives it a better option. And let me see if I can move it so you all can see it just a little bit. Do you see how I just made that adjustment in there? So if you go in here, it does it, right? Ooh, and actually, it looks pretty cute. I don't know. It looks pretty cute. It didn't give me like too much of a caricature look, but it did. I mean, it smooths out the face. I felt like I matched her photo a little bit better when I did that one. So I think I'll keep that. I might make myself a little bit more bigger as far as the photo is concerned, and just slide me over just a little bit. Let's see. So we'll play around with that one. But that is what that does. So I'm going to leave that photo like that because I like it. And we'll go into that. All right. So I'm going to slide back over. All right. So that is that. My hair is in the way now. But I'll play around with this later. So I'm set on my title. I think we cannot forget the cost of equality. And doing my research, just, you know, to make sure I'm putting out the best type of content and video format too, you know, because I want the viewer to make sure they're getting a quality product, or, you know, when I'm doing stuff. Some people say like use white wording, and, you know, then I see different colors. So I just use what I feel like I want to use, what I like. So, and it seems to come out pretty good as far as my thumbnails are concerned. You tell me what you think. All right, so with the, that's done, and I will save that under, instead of me having to save it to my desktop, I always, or save it under the name. So I'm gonna title this, We Cannot Forget. So when I download this, and I might just put I'll put the whole thing. The cost of the cost of equality, EQUALITY. All right, so a good rule of thumb is to save your thumbnail under the name of your YouTube video, because that helps to pull the information within YouTube. It saves that title as the same as your thumbnail title, is visibly seen for the viewer, right? And now it's in YouTube, so YouTube can search it better and push it out to the right people, like the ones that will, are needing or wanting to view your particular episode or post. And so I save it as that. So I'm going to download that. And I did that wrong. Hold on, because I do not want to download all those files. No, ma'am, I do not. So I go in before I download, unselect all. I'm only selecting the top one, and then I am going to go to download this thumbnail option. So that's it. So I'm saving that, and then typically after I've done my thumbnail, and again, sometimes I'll do my thumbnail first. Sometimes I'll do my video editing first. It just depends on my mood, honestly, of which order I want to go in. But I pretty much keep it as me doing everything in that particular day, the thumbnail, video editing, and so forth. So for my video, I'm probably not going to sit on this live and do an entire video edit with you all, because it's going to take a long time. So this particular episode was like an hour and 38 minutes. Like I said, we got into some good information, but I use Riverside. Shout out to them. So far, I love this platform. It's a great recording platform for when you have guests that you want to feature. So outside of me just like putting out my own information, like by myself, my own videos, like when I'm doing my solo recording, I will go on and when I have my guests, I able to send them a quick link. They click on the link, and then we're able to record. So this was our episode from the other day, and I'm gonna mute that one. So I'm gonna go to recordings, because that was like I have like a couple separate recordings. And as soon as it hopefully comes up here, and let me turn so y'all can see. That's pretty much it. Let's see here. So I probably can do so I do, for this particular one, I'm gonna do this one, a intro before we actually started recording, because there was a little brief little short clip I wanted to do before the recording. So in Riverside, it's already created. As you can see, the video quality is actually pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. It's nice and clear. So I do like the fact that they, like I said, it's a good quality platform, Riverside. I'm gonna go in, edit. And there's a lot of options. Excuse me, I have my hand over my mouth. A lot of options you can do. And let's see. Look, I've only had one cup of coffee today. I'm trying to drink water, friend. I'm trying to drink water after my coffee, because I've had I'll do 1 cup of coffee, and then I'll do 2 cups of coffee. Then I'll do 3. So I'm trying to cut back. I'm doing 1 cup of coffee today only, and then I'm going to try. And then I'm going to drink water for the rest of the day, because water is good for you. Okay. Water absorbed. All right, so for this Riverside, like I said, they make it so easy for you, Riverside. Love, 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 love Riverside. Love them down. They make it easy. And so I can go in, and let me turn my audio on. Let me see if I can show you. So if I can go in, I'm going to press play just for the beginning, right? If you can see that space is there, right? Because I always pause. And then, so now to get that out, all I got to do for this particular episode is I'll go in, I'll click on, they have a feature where you can just click on that little space, because if there's a pause, click on it, hit delete, and now I'm back at the beginning to where I can start my video where I want it. So I'm going to go in and just do my features how I want it done. And let me bring this over just a little bit more. So I'm going to go in, do my little editing here. And what I normally do with this, I try not to do too much. They have an option to where they create the video for you. Like they'll take out the fluff. They'll take out any filler words. Like if you're saying and all that stuff, they will take that information, take all of that out and do a pre-edited option for you. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I just like my natural voice. Like I just like, I like the ums, I like the and all that kind of stuff, depending on how the conversation is flowing. And so I'll just leave it as such. So what I normally do is I'll go in and I will edit the editing parts that I want. So I always do a voice filler. So here they have the option. It's called Magic Apply, and I will click that. That will begin to formulate. That will begin to do its thing, and that just helps to smooth out the video. So if you have like a microphone that doesn't work well, or you have a lot of scratching in your background noise, that goes in and smooths out everything, so you don't have to hear, all of the extra stuff in that particular video. That works well with that, and as you can see, it is done. It does not take that long. Complete 100%. So after I do that, keep hitting my thing. After I do that, quality audio is smoothed out. I'll go in and I'll do my branding. Let me click out of that for this particular video. I'm not sure if I want to brand on this one because this is like my little intro. I'm gonna do it. So just for my brand, I've come away from a lot of the extra background stuff, and now I only do my logo. Let's see. And hello, if you are just joining, I'm just editing my videos, you guys, and editing my video, editing my thumbnail, which I already did. I'll go in. I like the round feature in this one to kind of like, and I'll keep it at that size. And that's all I'll put is my logo. I used to have this white and pink background in the background. I don't do that anymore. I just like it simple. Keep it simple, keep it plain. That's all I want. And then I can come out of that. So I did my voice smoother, completed that, did my branding for this particular video, and that's all I'm going to do unless I want to take out like the end, which again, you can scroll all the way to the bottom. If you can see that at the end of your video, scroll to the end. I can take this portion out, which I can like, let me see if I can run this portion real quick at the end here. Hold on one second. It's too far up here for this particular portion. Not forget. Right. And that's all I'm saying there. So, but it drags on. And so within this portion of it, I can go in and just delete. So I'm going to delete the extra spaces. And then I'm going to play around and just see how that sounds. So hopefully it will. If it sounds good, if it doesn't sound good, let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna go in, play that last episode portion. Forget. Okay, so the only thing about that, when I do take that portion out, it cuts off my words just a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in and just click restore, because I don't like how it cut off my words. So going back in, clicking restore. Right. And then I'm going to come out of that. Coming out of that. All right. Click, look, I was trying to find the button. Clicking brand. All right. But this is pretty much, this is how I edit my videos. I'll use Canva, and I'll use for my thumbnail, and I'll use Riverside for my video editing. So after I've done all that I wanted to do with this particular video, I'm gonna go in and just export it. So again, I've done my audio, I've done my logo, which I only use just my podcast theme name. For the branding, I don't do anything else as far as like my brand. I used to have like the pink and the white background. I like to keep it simple now. And that's what it's all about. It's about learning, putting out what you like, creating, getting the feel, what I've learned, like if I don't like it, then it comes off, you just kind of keep building and growing into what it is that you want, your particular channel to look like. And then of course I watch a lot of different, more successful creators as far as like how their presentations look, and what it is that they are able to, what it is that they're able to get from their thumbnail looks a certain way, so I watch a lot of stuff, how do they attract the right viewers for their particular content, because when you're putting out stuff, you want it to be right. So for this particular one, I'm done with it. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to click share. Riverside, I can do video or audio, which is love them again because that feature is there and it's an easy option. So for video, of course, I'm doing that, and I'm doing audio. So my particular, yes, I have my YouTube channel from Grief to Purpose, but I also have the feature, the from Grief to Purpose, and it plays on all podcast streaming platforms as well. So the option is there, and I'm gonna do that later. But for sake of this live stream, I'm going to click export on this video, and I'll do the rest of that later. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go click my export button. I'm gonna get my thumbnail together, finish editing that probably. Again, going back into Canva to finish my thumbnail. I'm not too sold on this particular title. I'll go back in, figure out a good title for this one, a good clickable title, to see if that is cool. If it's not, if it sticks with me, I should say, because if it doesn't stick with me, then I am not going to keep it. But for my thumbnail, I just like it to be short, to the point, and not overly, not like I'm writing a paragraph, right? So that can be put in the subtitle. So, and then you always want your subtitle, is what I've learned, to be different from your actual thumbnail title, which works for me. So the thumbnail title, it's, the context of the episode, and then the subtitle, which is going to be written in that description portion of the YouTube once you upload your video. That title description, that's where you want to put a longer form subtitle. So I'll go in and do that later. But yeah, that's it, friend. Thank you so much for joining me for my live. I'm going to go and download this and finish my editing. Again, I'm not going to bore you with like the hour-long edits on my long form video for my next guest. But that's all I pretty much do. I try to keep it basic. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I do, again, just a few steps here. One step, Canva. That's for as far as the tools I use Canva, I use Riverside, and I use Wix sometimes too. I do use Wix every now and then, just because they have a lot of features in there that I like when I want to be a little bit more fancy. But that's all that I use as a up and coming content creator in this YouTube channel family world here. But again, I posted something earlier that just says post your stuff, and I'm literally, you got to just post, your friend. You have to just post whatever it is that you feel like you're supposed to be putting out there. And behind posting, what it is that you want to put out there to the world, like, this platform for me is something that I feel that I know, God is using me to push certain messages out there and sharing the stories of others. So this is what I'm doing. So I am, behind that, I should say, I also want to put out quality, what I'm saying? I don't want to just like post whatever and then just put up, something that looks crazy, so I'm not going to put up, a crazy looking thumbnail, especially if I have guests. I want to make sure that I'm highlighting them in their best representation of themselves, excuse me, because when this episode goes out, it's also going out to their, following, so they're going to post it on their social media pages, so I don't want to put a product out there that's not quality. So if this was just me doing a solo channel, I would probably just put my picture of myself, random picture, right? Do maybe a slight edit on Canva, do a little title, and then that's it. But then again, knowing my personality, and I'm not going to say I'm a perfectionist, but I just like things a certain way. So, which is quality, to the level of my standards. So, again, simple steps. I use Canva. I use Riverside. I will use Chat GPT sometimes to ask them for, a better title. Like, I came up with "We Cannot Forget" for this particular title. Then I was like, okay, I need something else to go with it. What are some great titles that I could pair with this particular episode? And they added in the cost of equality. So I might keep this title, "We Cannot Forget the Cost of Equality," pertaining to this particular guest. But again, not sure on that. But Um, that's all, friend. I may come back on. We'll have to do this again, and I'll show you all in a different live. Maybe we'll work on something else. I have to figure that out. What are we gonna work on? I don't know. But today was all about my thumbnail. I'm gonna go back in and finish up this editing of this the long form video, so I can get this uploaded. And when I do my uploads, I schedule them out. Sometimes I'll do a premiere, sometimes I won't, but I'll schedule them for the next week. So I try to keep it week to week. And because I am a week to week recorder, and sometimes I do more like, filler posts where I just might post something random. But because for my podcast episodes, if I'm doing a week to week, or if I have guests that fall within that scheduling range, I will just schedule it for to fall within that. I had something else to say, but I totally forgot what it was. Anywho, all right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. I'm logging off, and I'll have to come back on here and do another live and just think about what I'm gonna put out to you guys or show you guys. Again, nothing fancy here. I use Canva, use Riverside. Every now and then I use Wix to do my editing, but most of the time you'll find me in Riverside using edits because they have a great feature. Again, Riverside, they're just so simple. And then just that quickly, as I finished this edit already, like this was done. Finish that one up, it's done. I can download it. Let me show you real quick. Actually, I can show you because they also listen, and this is what saves you time. Okay, if you are creating content, this right here, this feature saves me so much time. Because life is busy. Life is so busy, and I got stuff to do, so I don't have time a lot of times to sit up here and edit all these videos and what have you. So they create like thumbnails for you. They create hooks. A lot of times I don't use these. Sometimes I will do like a short video. I'm just now getting into starting to do that, depending on what was said, because a lot of times I don't want to give too much away for the actual episode. But then here is the kicker. Okay, this is what I love, because I don't have to go in and create. Sometimes I do. Like if there's a special moment that a guest had said, or something that was like absolutely, like, oh, I want someone else to hear this, I'll go in and edit it myself, but they already create your shorts and your reels for you. So, and I believe like other platforms do that too. But again, I use Riverside. When I tell you this right here saves me so much time and effort, friend, listen, it saves me a lot of time. So I love that. I go in, do my little edits on here. Like I'll put the caption up and all that kind of stuff. But that's about it. And then they have like some other features, like if you wanted to use like a photo of a snapshot of yourself while you're recording. But yeah, that's it. Riverside, Canva, sometimes Wix, and all this. My thumbnail is done super, super quick. One thing too, let me add this. For my thumbnails, I keep it to where I only have to remove the last guest picture. So there was another guest here already, pull them off, put up the new guest, and then I may change out my picture. So I'll change out my picture, or I'll keep my picture. And I keep my thumbnails because I don't like to redo thumbnails. I'm not recreating this wheel here. Now, we're trying to minimize the level of work that I have to do. So it's, everything is on there already, how I like it. All I have to do is just kind of readjust the photos, go in and plug in a different title, and plug in 2 different pictures if I want to. Same with this. Like if I'm doing like a solo, episode, I'll go in, I might change my picture and change the title. That is it. Every now and then, right? Because, Canva has like the feature, I can change my background here if I wanted to. So if I want to make this background, let's say pink, right? It'll be pink. And that is it if I wanted to do that, right? But it's just, I keep your work simple, right? Simple works for me. Simplicity, because life gets busy and I don't have time to, do all the things. So, and I keep my thumbnails, keeping my thumbnails, because I may reuse them for a different episode, a different idea, and I don't have to recreate that wheel. But yeah, all right, you guys, I'm logging off. You all have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you in the next episode. Be sure to subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel already. It helps me reach more viewers that need this particular topic on which I put out, which is again, from grief to purpose, because we all have, we're all going to go through grief. We're all going to go through places of pain. We're all going to go through those moments of transitions, whether it's career transitions, relationship transitions, or what have you. We're all going to go through something where we need community, we need help, we need support, we need to talk it out. Okay. And then a lot of the guests that I have on too, like some of their journeys, you may just mirror your journey. So be sure to like this live. Absolutely. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much in advance. And thank you all for joining this live on today. Until next time. All right, you guys. Peace.